Yeah. Huh? Wayne, let me ask you a question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You ever listen to one of our episodes in the car?
No, not in the car.
Fam, I put this on in my car. I have a really nice sound system in my car.
Yeah.
The bass line when it dun,
Oh yeah.
dun, dun, what?
Yeah, that's that. So
Bro,
when I
what?
yeah, I got I got like two basses and the 808 going in there. So like the 808 and it's tuned too. So like it go with the like what's funny? Like my progression in music, like I remember like when I first started using the 808 bass and I
Uh-huh.
didn't realize you had to tune it. Like you had to tune it because if you use it, it's just one note and it's sustained. So if I'm using the boom, but the key changes, the
Mm-hmm.
bass line still going boom. And it but back the early 2000s music when it was used, it was fine. But I was also adding the bass line. So I was like, why does Chuck keep clashing, bro? Like, why is it keep and then it was because the bass the 808 wasn't tuned. So I learned how
I
to do that.
got you. Yeah, listen, bro. That joint goes so hard in the car. Listen, y'all. Everybody out there watching right now, I challenge you is this. Don't matter which episode, just pick one of these no harm, no foul episodes and just listen to the intro. Just listen to just wait for that bass line to come in. That joint is crazy.
Yeah. That junk's
I'm like,
crazy.
yo, I wonder if Wayne even know he doing this to people.
I don't. I just make it.
Now I'm gonna put that onto my surround sound in the house because I got the nice subs and everything in here. I'm gonna see what it's really hitting for. That
I,
joint was
I'm
wild.
I'm I'm gonna invite myself over, but I know I have to be invited in, like I'm a vampire or something. So I want to make sure that you invite me in the house when I get there.
You know I don't let people in my house,
I
right?
already know, bro. That,
I don't
did
like
you hear
people
what I
knowing where
just
I
said?
live. I don't like none of that.
All my, Mike gonna give me an address to somebody else's house and then pick
I'll
me
bring
up
you to
from there.
I'll bring you to one of my offices or something.
Right. Damn. Though we was family. We was kicking it like family this past weekend, and it is what it. I ain't graduate there
We
yet, but
family.
what's
I got family that don't know where I live. All
dang.
your family. Go ahead and lie to me. All your family members know where you live.
No, but that's. I mean, but the like no.
But look at this. Here the stutter, and now
Did
all
you
of a
hear the
sudden,
Did you hear the Porky Pig about to come out, yo? Beep 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 beep. That's all, folks.
oh my
What's going on,
god.
faithful? Hey, you know what?
Oh man.
You know what I realized, Mike? When the 49ers are winning, the world is different. Like
Mm,
the world is different. It's just a better place for you and for me and the
the
entire
entire
human
human
race.
race.
Yeah. It's just a
Yeah.
better place. And
Yeah.
it's like they want to pick on the Niners when they lose, but it don't feel the same like if the Cowboys lose or if another team lose. It don't got the same vibe. It's like it seemed like the world, not the world, but like the media world is like the Niners lost, but they're gonna get him again next week. The Niners lost again, they're gonna get him again next week. The Niners lost 3 times in a row. They're gonna get him again the fourth week. Like that's the vibe I was getting. To me,
Mm,
that's some different level type of respect right there.
yeah. You know, I was I was listening to a show. I was replaying the Jaguars Niners preview that I did, right? And the guy said that people don't credit the Jaguars for their wins. He said that instead, it's how did this team lose to the Jaguars? So instead of saying the
Mhm,
Jaguars did X, Y, and Z well,
mhm.
it's the other team did A, B, and C poorly, and that's why they lost. It's never that the Jaguars were good enough to beat them, right? So listen to what you were just saying and combining that. It got me to thinking. Because I remember what he was saying as a Jaguars fan. Oh shit! Here we go with the Mike's Mike shit again. I see the comments. All right, I'll lean forward a little bit more. Hopefully that's better. Um, but I remember, like I clearly remember, um, when the Niners would win a game, the Mike Singletary era, listening to the national media and stuff like that, right? They would be like, oh, well, this team should have done X, Y, Z, or they couldn't just whatever. They abandoned the run game, so the Niners took advantage of it, and you made yourself one dimensional, blah, blah, blah. As opposed to how people talk now about the Niners, where it was, the Niners went out and did X, Y, and Z to get this win. You know what I'm saying? So when do we get the change? What does a team have to do in order for people to start talking about them in the right way?
Well, number one, you start drafting better, and you start getting these players that people want to see week in and week out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a guy, you go back to 2017. I mean, it's George Kittle from that draft, right? The fifth round draft pick. Then the
Yeah.
following year was the Fred Warner draft. Or do I have it wrong? I don't be knowing
No.
stuff up.
George Kittle was the first one.
Yeah, and then the next year was Fred Warner. When did we get Dre Greenlaw? The year after Fred in the
I
fifth
think
round.
2 years after Fred, right?
Yeah, but my point is like they the Niners Kyle Shanahan brought different type of attention to the 49ers. Like people wanted to see if he can exceed expectations. And then he gets us to the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
with the cast that we had. They made this Niners. I mean, the Niners always doing something though, right? They making changes. Like they traded DeForest Buckner, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then they drafted Javon Kinlaw.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't make that make sense. But what ended up happening was Brandon Ayuk became such a breath of fresh air. People kind of forgetting about Kinlaw being that first round draft. He was the first round draft pick of that draft. Sort of, kind of. Plus, he's
No,
dealt
yeah,
with a
yeah,
lot of injuries, so
yeah.
you don't see him a lot. But Brandon Ayuk kind of like took over that. Then you get Nick Bosa the same year. You get Deebo Samuel. So you like you got Deebo and Nick before that. It's just weird, right? So like, I think because the Niners draft well, and then they find a way to they start winning
Mm.
and they look promising. And then they start attracting free agents, and not the big name free agents at first.
Right. Right. No, yeah. We had to get like dogpile that joint.
Yeah. But then you end up with a guy like a Mooney Ward, not a big name free agent, but was a big name free agent because that year it was J.C. Jackson. Remember? Guess what? He's back with the Patriots, right? Not
I'm
even
back.
playing.
Mm-mm-mm.
But it's crazy, Mike, because then I think the biggest free agent that they signed for
It's
is
Hargrave.
Hargrave. Yeah, because they traded for Trent Williams.
Is he the biggest free agent? Hold up. Pierre
The
Garcon.
biggest, it's the biggest free agent, right? And even Hargrave is a tier 2 under a tier 1, like a Chris Jones and those guys.
Yeah, yeah. I see. I don't even know if Hargrave is as good as Buckner. Like, I think the Niners would rather have Buckner than Hargrave. If I'm being completely real with you.
I think Hargrave is better than Buckner, but it depends on like. No, I think Hargrave's like his ability to generate the pressure, like it's there, like it's there, and he's better in stopping the run.
Clean
They
up
ha-
on aisle one.
and the crazy thing is they're both having a great season, right?
Yeah.
I love it,
All right. I'm
but
sorry. I
it
know.
alludes to us to right now because now we got a special weapon in a Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy, Mike? We sat here and we went back and forth. We bickered, we beefed, we argued. Oh, we don't need Deebo. Oh, we need Deebo. Oh, and it starts to see like, I mean, the Niners going on a 3-game losing streak. They get Deebo Samuel back along with Trent Williams. But I really think the factor of the offense was more because Trent wasn't even 100% healthy. And maybe Deebo wasn't either, but the fact that he was in that offense, he kindly turned this offense and made it look a lot different.
Yeah.
And then when you go back in history, when you go back to 2019,
Mm.
and the moment they started using Deebo not as a wide receiver but as a weapon, you start to say to yourself, wait a minute, do
Okay.
the 49ers even win when Deebo's not in the lineup?
Mm.
And so, Mike, I mean, like, I feel like I know people be like, what kind of question is this?
Well, we have the numbers. We have the numbers.
And
And
men lie and women
women
lie.
lie,
Numbers don't.
but numbers don't. Numbers don't.
Hmm.
Now, I want to say, for the purposes of this exercise, I have two different scenarios. One, where I'm counting the Browns game and one where I'm not. It doesn't make the biggest difference at all. However, losing Deebo after the opening drive in that Browns game and seeing similar results for the following two games kind of helps what we're going to discuss today. It doesn't change the. So without the Browns game included, the Niners put up 21.2 yards. 21.2 points per game. If you include the Browns game, it drops down to 20.78. So it's still 21 points a game, no matter how you look at it. So it doesn't change anything that way. All right? But counting the Browns game, where you lose Deebo after the opening drive, the 49ers are 8-10 without Deebo in the lineup. First of all, Wayne, did you know that Deebo's missed 18 games in his career? And
It doesn't seem
list,
like it because he's been in the league for several seasons since 2019, and
I got to
he's
say
missed.
17. I should have said 17. Sorry.
Okay, and it's not like he's missing a long period of games, but in a what's the word
Vacuum?
in a commutative, like, or cumulative, or how do you say that word? But when you add them all together, cumulative, in that sense, it does seem like a lot, but they're sporadic, and I feel like, I'm not comparing them to any other wide receiver, but that could be a hindrance at some point. But my point is, like, it's not like he's missing a bunch of games. He's there for them games. He's there for them big games. And when Deebo can play, he could play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he does have an injury history.
Sure
but
does.
None of that shouldn't matter because they paid him. So at the end of the day, they still decided to say, we're going to give you a contract, knowing he has an injury history.
Yeah. So this list does not include the games that he at least started in and didn't finish. It doesn't include those. These are games that he literally didn't start. And it's 17 in total. The Niners record is 8-9 in that time frame. It's not terrible, right? They have scored 48 touchdowns in those 17 games. They put up 20.5 first downs in those games. And the offense averages 370 yards per game. Third down completion percentage, 43%.
With him there or without him there?
This is all without him there. All those numbers were without Deebo. Now, the offense is also only putting up 2.8 touchdowns a game. That's where you get that 20.99. You know what I mean? It's not quite 3 touchdowns a game. It's just a hair under 21 points a game. But the yards are there. 370 yards of offense is good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think they can win without Deebo, just like they can win with Deebo.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, when Deebo's not there, what we see is different. And how they win is different. How they lose is different.
Okay. All right, let me ask you a question. I'm going to tell you these games, and these are the games that the Niners put up the most points without Deebo. I'm going to go from most recent to older, and you stop me when you feel like one of these wins was special, like the offense looked special. Okay?
Okay.
So highest points scored without Deebo. 37 points against the Las Vegas Raiders. 37-34 was that game.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Then we the week before that, 37 points against Washington Commanders on Christmas Eve. 37-20. And then let me see, where do we put up 30 points again? Los Angeles Rams, 10-30-22. We played the Rams 31-14. Was that the comeback game? Was that the game that we came back from behind?
Yeah, it was one of those games. They scored early. What's their Tyler Higbee had touchdowns. Jimmy Ward got burnt a few times, but the Niners found a way to come back and win.
And then Do we have any other games? We lost, putting up 33 points. We lost that game to the Cowboys. That's crazy. And then we beat the Giants 36-9, but that was 2020, and nobody remembers that year. So we beat the Jets also 31-13. Oh, I remember that game. That was the game that we lost.
That's the high ankle sprain game, right? That's the game they
Bosa,
lost. Bosa, Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt.
And Solomon Thomas, right? I
Yeah,
think we lost
they
both
had
of them
ACL
in that same
injuries.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those games don't really go towards anything. But it's got to be between that Vegas game and the Washington game, right?
Yeah, when they put up the most amount of
37
points.
points. Yeah. And
But
that
that
was last
Washington,
year.
yeah, that Vegas game though was because the defense couldn't stop. They couldn't stop anything.
But that doesn't take away from how special the offense is, right? Or does it? Because what I'm looking at these games, I don't see anything special about them. Like last game felt special, right? You got the big play down the field to George Kittle. You got the don't do it, throw across the body, no, touchdown,
okay.
right? Like those are special, memorable plays.
Right.
Which one? But these things happen because Deebo's out there, right? The spacing and how George Kittle gets that wide. George Kittle's not getting that wide open if Deebo is on that field, right?
Because you when you talk, the first thing you brought up was points, and I get it, but Deebo's not about the points. He's about allowing the offense to flow. So it's a big difference, right? So from flowing, you're hoping to get points off of it. Because there was times in this particular past game against Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Deebo's out there and the offense couldn't put up 6, right? I mean, in the red zone. They had to kick 2 field goals, right? And they had to punt a couple of other times due to a whole bunch of other issues, penalties and whatever. But my point is, like, it just seems like the Niners offense is I don't want to say vanilla because I hate that word, but it seems like the Niners offense is more easy to figure out from a defensive standpoint when Deebo Samuel isn't out there. Now, I don't care about 2022, 2021, 2020, or 2019 because none of that shit matters. Like, it's 2023, Mike, and now there's film. And so with film, that means teams are prepared to stop or eliminate or take out weapons. And so if we're just going off of this year, the offense looked really special when Deebo was out there healthy for the first 5 games. Come to that 6th game, Deebo gets injured, doesn't return. Trent Williams was still out there. Y'all can say he was hurt. That's fine because he was. But Brock Purdy didn't look special in that game. And it was because what you just said, spacing. And now defenses, once you take out those motions and you take out those certain key things, that frees up the Kyle Juszczyks, the George Kittles, the Brandon Ayuk's. It frees them up. It allows them to get open in space.
Right.
That's when the offense looks different. And so if we're going off of 2023 only, I don't think the 49ers can win without Deebo Samuel. I know they have in the past, but let's talk about now.
Not this year. This year.
They haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't anything like spectacular either. So if we look at just those games, right? I can't believe this though. Is this right? We put up 460 yards of offense against the Bengals?
Yes, yeah, because that was
we only get 17 points. Like, what the fuck happened to us?
Because of the turnovers, Mike. Because of the turnovers, like Brock had 2 terrible turnovers in that game.
Yeah.
Like terrible. And one is when the score, we could have took the lead, remember? And we were in the red zone. And then he shoots the ball. Elijah Mitchell's wide open.
Yeah, but it was a legal throw anyway because the man was down. Yeah, I know what you played about.
No. This is the one where Brock had him wide open and he just tipped it up and it was an interception.
Yeah. He kind of tossed it. He tossed it over to the guy, right? Like he was scrambling to the right. Yeah, but there was an offensive lineman downfield, so that play would have came back anyway. It was an illegal man. It was an ineligible man downfield was going to be the call had it not been turned over.
I don't remember that.
They had an interception. They declined the call. Yeah, that's why. Because they declined it. because they recovered the ball, so they didn't
That's
get
a
it.
whole nother issue with the team.
Yeah, the penalties.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's. Well, tomorrow we got to start previewing the game, but that's a whole nother issue. Because penalties,
Yeah,
I want to talk about the Niners being undisciplined on this show because that's ridiculous and that's coaching.
and it's being hidden by 30 plus
By
points by the
by
offense
30
and
there you
less than
go.
17 points by the defense. And so people are like, "Oh, everything is good, everything is good."
Yeah.
No, it is not good. It
Yeah.
is not good.
It's not
Let's
good.
take a
We'll
break
talk about
really
that
quick.
tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a break really quick, get some of these super chats here. Red Jet Shell, thank you for the super chat. She's absolutely no weirdos allowed in my house too. LOL.
I'm not a weirdo.
I don't know, Wayne. I don't know. Wait, hold on. You think it's an insult to be a weirdo? I tell my kids all the time, we weird and embrace it.
Being weird and a weirdo is two different things.
Okay.
I don't like the word weirdo.
It has a negative connotation to it.
It does have a negative connotation, but you could be weird.
Yeah, no, we weird. We embrace that shit. Like, weird to me is different.
No, weird to me is unique. But being a weirdo, yeah, that's what I'm just agreeing with you. But being a weirdo is like
it's that vibe. It's that vibe. Like, look at this guy.
I feel like I'm a. It sounds like a. I don't even want to say it. It sounds bad. It sounds like yeah.
No, all right, yeah. Renzo says Niner faithfuls turned my city red on Sunday. We was out there, baby.
Well, Mike didn't because this stupid dude wore white.
First of all, my pants were red at the game.
But you wore the jersey was white. No, anybody paying attention to your pants.
My jersey was white. It was white with red numbers.
Yeah,
9 and 1 was red.
Did have
Thank
red
you.
numbers.
Thank you. And I'm lying. I'm about to say, and I wore a red hoodie, but no, I didn't because I had on red pants. I was not gonna wear red on red. I don't do that. You do that?
No, I do that.
If it's not a set, like if it's
got to be the set. It's got to be the same red. You can't go out rocking ruby red and then like candy
Scarlet
apple red.
Yeah. I won't do that. I won't even buy sweatsuits that are supposed to be the same like that unless there's another color I'll buy all right, check this out. Right? Like a cream sweatsuit, but it'll have a dark brown patch here and like a white patch here with cream color pants with like a white stripe in it, or you know what I'm saying? Like it can't just be solid. That shit has always looked weird to me, bro. I hate that.
I do.
I can't do it.
I didn't mean to call Mike stupid, dude. Like I don't mean it in that connotation. I did say that you were stupid for wearing.
Come on, man.
No,
hey,
I know.
Do me a favor, y'all. Don't get offended for me. I'm not I'm not that guy.
Well, Mike and I had the conversation. He was like, "Wayne, I should have wore a red jersey, right?" I was like, "Yeah."
I did.
I should have worn my white pants today, right? I'm like, "Yeah." We tried.
But I wore the white pants on Saturday.
Right. By mistake. Yeah. See, they don't know the context.
Right.
Why? Right.
I woke up the next morning kicking myself like, damn, Wayne, yo.
Mike's weird.
I didn't start this one. You must have started this one here.
I did start this because I wanted to observe natural evolution says they have one without Deebo. So Kyle Shanahan is the one you want to talk about play calling. And he's right. Yeah, essentially, that's the issue. Kyle Shanahan can't win without Deebo Samuel. Even though they've won without Deebo Samuel in the past, he can't figure it out. Those other pieces that he has can't do what Deebo Samuel does.
Yeah.
And so Kyle, in my opinion, and I always agree with execution from the players, but in my opinion, like Kyle needed to have figured that out. And I know that Brock Purdy had a great closing drive in that game. You know what I'm saying? And Jake Moody missed the field goal. But damn it, Kyle, once you knew your boy was out, you should have been able to figure out how to switch this up. There should have been some wrinkles in time or something to where they didn't know anything about, which scares me because it was just a wide receiver and a left tackle. And we had just suffered that. I was having PTSD when we lost our quarterback in the NFC Championship game. I'm like, oh my God, we lose another key piece. This is going to be crazy. And so I'm like, Kyle, you got to figure it out. There should have been a plan B and a plan C. And it didn't look good. It didn't look good.
So
that's on Kyle.
Out of his own way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's have
like
it
that's when the
100%.
narcissism. I'm cool if he wants to be narcissistic when he got everything. But when you don't got everything, you got to put the narcissism inside the drawer.
So do you think his problem is that he wants to run the same plays using different
He's
personnel
stubborn
when
as
they're
a
not fit
mother
for
flood
it?
plucker, bruh. Put the stubbornness to the side.
But because I feel you, right? We saw the whole Ray McLeod ain't Deebo. Like, stop, right? We saw that.
Right.
That was Brown's game, and he did stop. But then it seemed like the offense just didn't have any kind of pizzazz anymore. It's
Had
like, oh, well, if I
nothing.
can't run my Deebo type plays, then I don't want to run no plays at all. Y'all just go out there and
At that point, this if I was Kyle Shanahan, you want to know what I did? At that point, listen, Christian, you're gonna play wide receiver, running back now. I'm going to put another running back, Jordan Mason, in this game. And listen, I'm gonna switch it up. You don't have to change much. CMC, I'm not saying is Deebo, but he could do
Deebo things.
There you go.
Man.
So just because he's not labeled a wide receiver, you can still you can still have 11 personnel or 21 personnel out there and put your wide receivers out there. You could do some of the things out of Kyle likes to run 21 personnel, but you could do some of that stuff out there with just 2 running backs.
Yeah.
Just switch the running back up and then motion one running back, split them out.
And it felt like Kyle just kind of gave up. Like, just didn't want to get creative. Like, let's just get through this.
And
without
that's
Deebo
what
and
Peachy
without
was
Trent.
saying for a long time. Like, there's no creativity, but I don't think he trusts that. So then stubbornness comes down to trusting as well. And and if you don't trust players to do certain things,
he trusted Ray McLeod to do it, and then when he saw Ray couldn't, then he
I'm
went,
talking,
it's
but I'm talking about as far as being creative. So when you don't trust certain things to work, that's when you kind of just revolt back to, basic.
I agree.
So that's I thought that was a good comment by him. It does come down to play calling.
All right. I like that, man. Well, I guess that's it. Kyle can't do it without Deebo. Deebo can't be unhealthy for the rest of this year. No. We not going. Oh, I
we
mean,
not going. We not.
This year, the offensive line is a shell of what it used to be.
Okay, all right. There it is.
We need the spacing to keep the defensive lines honest. Because if they get allowed to tee off on us, we in trouble. Let's not beat around the bush at all. Kyle needs Deebo this year. Deebo is the most important player on the 49ers offense right now.
How's
year. That? That's coming from Mike, who has been a noted and documented Deebo hater at times.
I don't know if you a hater. You just wasn't he did something you ain't like and you stuck to your you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's in the
he was in like he was in your doghouse. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I got no problem admitting that a player that's in my doghouse is the most important piece of this offense. I got no listen, reality and feelings don't always have to coincide.
They don't.
Right?
They definitely don't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Like, look, when you look at this team, so I want 49er fans. And I know they want to throw Trent Williams in the equation. I get it, but mind you, Trent, this was his worst game.
This game?
Yeah, he was terrible.
Wow.
Gave up 4 pressures.
Penalty, but he
gave up 4 pressures, Mike. That ain't Trent standards.
I didn't know that.
And miss me with that bullshit injury stuff. He played bad. So was it Trent or was it Deebo?
I see what you're saying. If Trent played bad, this was his worst game, and he still put up 30-plus points, then you can't blame Trent.
There you go. So what my thing is, we can go home on that one. No team is safe when the Niners are about to growl. There it is.
Oh, you're not going to finish? I thought you was.
No, I thought you was going.
I was hyped. Let's go. Let's get it. Yeah.
Nah, but seriously, like Mike, let's be honest. The 49ers need Trent Williams. I don't want people thinking that we don't need Trent.
Right.
He didn't create all the holes, but he was definitely a big bonus in the run game. And you saw it. But as far as pass protection, if that was his worst game and we put up 34 points, like wow, like
Without the starters for all
the
but
left
one
side.
drive in the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh, yes. 5-minute mark, 6-minute mark. Here comes the inserts. I mean the depth. And and they didn't, and even the depth on defense or offense. Wait a minute, that offense still got to the red zone. They just couldn't score.
Sure did.
Let that
and
shit
the only
sink
reason
in.
they couldn't score is because they were trying to force it to one
person.
And the whole world knew it.
Just let that sink in. Sam Darnold might have helped put up another 6 points.
Come on, man.
Sam Darnold would have put up 6 points if he would have threw that ball to the
pylon. No team is safe when the Niners were on the prowl and the big dogs growl. I'm Mike. That's Wayne. And this is No Harm, No Foul. Peace.